welcome to episode 2506 of Effectively Wild, a FanGraphs baseball podcast brought to you by our Patreon supporters. I'm Meg Rowley of FanGraphs, and I am joined today by Craig Goldstein of Baseball Prospectus, editor-in-chief of Baseball Prospectus. Craig, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I have a bit of hotel-related banter for you.
Oh.
We are going to talk about the All-Star proceedings some, and then we're gonna look ahead to the second half, not technically a half a season, but the second half as it is colloquially known, and some things that we are intrigued by, looking forward to, perhaps dreading. You are very gamely subbing for Ben Lindbergh, who hopefully is not being selected to serve on a jury as we speak. Have you ever served on a jury?
I not only have never served on a jury, I have never been called to sit on a jury. Like, I have never had to even go in. I've never even had to get a phone call or call in DC, at least when I lived there, it's shocking to me I didn't get this because it's not the biggest population
right.
Actually living in the city. I never even had to call in and be like, oh, my number doesn't have to come in or whatever.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. A charmed life, one might say.
Yeah. The one time that I've had to present myself actually was when I was living in New York. So depending on where he got called, I might have a sense of the exact room that Ben is sitting in right now. I sat there with a book for most of the day. They had Fox News on in the big room, which that wasn't for me. And then when I got called in, I was asked questions because I don't remember if it was a civil or criminal case that they were impaneling a jury for. But as soon as I told them that my mom is a practicing attorney and that her wife was a public defender for a number of years, they were like, thank you for your service.
Yeah, you say
Bye.
Public defender.
Yeah, they don't. The prosecutor's like, get out of here. We don't want you.
Which might be, well, I guess it shouldn't prevent me from being called. But I did work for the public defender office at the administrative office of the U.S. courts
right.
For several years. So I don't
right.
suspect I would be high on a prosecutor's list, I suppose.
Yeah, and your wife's a lawyer. They don't want people who, not because we actually know anything, but because we might know enough to be dangerous or annoying,
That is the extent of my knowledge,
right?
As it pertains to anything.
To be dangerous and annoying.
Yes.
Well, we will try to soldier on in Ben's absence. This is our weekly Patreon episode, so we are in the lovely free preview portion of our time.
We're going to say so much wild stuff. You guys have no idea.
But I think that this is the optimal moment for me to engage in a low-stakes rant, which is actually a feature of our Patreon monthly bonus episodes. So you're really getting good preview content here for our lovely listeners who are not yet Patreon supporters. What's with hotel pillows? What's up with this?
Oh, I didn't know you were going pillows. You told me it was hotel related, and
yeah.
I immediately thought of your posts recently about showers.
We're going to get to the showers.
Okay.
I had no idea the nerve I was tapping with that particular complaint.
I have thoughts about the showers for sure.
I want to hear your hotel shower thoughts, certainly. I appreciate that, of all of the linen related and adjacent accoutrements that are in a hotel, pillows are probably a bit of a conundrum because, if you have people sleeping on them regularly, they probably have to be replaced at some semi-frequent interval. Also, as an aside to our listeners, you should replace your pillows every now and again, they get gross. They get squished in non-refluffable, resquishable ways.
We're disgusting, just as people. You got to change them out.
You got to change them out. How frequently are you guys swapping out your bed pillows?
So this is where I reveal myself as schmancy, and I've actually talked about my pillow situation on social media, so it might not be a surprise to some. But I have one of those cooling pillows.
Oh yeah,
it's cold.
Yeah.
I have what was billed as the coldest pillow ever because I'm hot. I'm hot. I don't even remember what it I should have looked up what it's called, but it's something like Ice Storm or something insane.
Yeah.
But basically those things lose their shape after a certain
Right.
amount of time. So I'm
Right.
just changing it out once and there, it's schmancy. It's not cheap, but I'm hot all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I even have a pillowcase that is supposed to allow the coldness. Because if you just wrap one of those things in a regular pillowcase, you're mitigating its effectiveness.
Right. Yeah.
So I have like a pillowcase that's designed to allow that to come through. I take sleeping and being cold at the same time very seriously.
Yeah.
And so that is one place I'm willing to really go all out for. So it loses its shape kind of faster than I would like, but it does keep me changing out the pillow pretty frequently.
Yeah. I think we're at like a every 6 months kind of an interval, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, I think mine's longer than that. It would be expensive to change that. It is. People will get me on this because they'll look it up. But I'm trying to be honest with you all.
Yeah.
My pillow is called Night Ice.
Night Ice.
I get them as gifts. Like I never know. I'm. People are like, "What can I get you?" Speaking of which, if people just want to send me gifts, my birthday's tomorrow. So
I was going to wish you a happy birthday, but I was going to do it off mic because I wasn't sure if you.
Oh, it's okay. I don't mind. So I ask for it as a gift every however often I need, basically, and a family member or several family members can partake, and that way everyone's happy.
Yeah. Here's my returning to the hotel of it all. So I understand, like there's an expense. They're not putting what is it? The Ice Max? Is that what you called it?
Night Ice.
Night Ice. That sounds like a men's deodorant scent.
I know. It's really aggressive for a pillow.
Night Ice.
It's by Bed Gear. It's all very, it feels very man-coded in so many ways.
Yeah, this is like dude wipe adjacent. I worry about you guys. I get it. Like they cost money. Nice pillows cost money. And I imagine that, pillows, sheets, the various thises and that's in a hotel room have to be replaced. And at a big hotel like the Philadelphia downtown Marriott, hundreds of rooms, 2 towers of rooms, you had to know which side to go on. It was a little flummoxing when I checked in. So I'm not indifferent to the way that this expense might stack for them. And, they're a hotel chain. They're trying to make as much money on you as possible. And I think that even in reputable hotel chains, they're like, we didn't give you bed bugs, so we fulfilled our obligations. Why are all the pillows so bad, though? They are terrible. And I generally am quite satisfied with like the caliber of mattress that one is presented with in a hotel situation. Like if you were staying at a reasonably nice hotel, and thankfully like the Marriott that they selected as the media hotel for the All-Star game was perfectly nice. Had a great little convenience store in the lobby. Super friendly employees. All those gals were great. Shout out to them. But these pillows, they're substandard. They're horrible.
So let's get some context around substandard. What is it you don't like about? I'm with you, but I also, aside from not being freezing cold, my main problem with most pillows, I am a firm pillow person.
So here we are. Here we have arrived at the real issue, which is, why are they so soft? They are providing a mere whisper of support. The simple suggestion of it, like the teaser of a freemium podcast. What more might be behind the pillow? Nothing is behind the pillow.
We say in the free section of
which, we provide substance after the suggestion, unlike these pillows, which are basically flat, and no wonder they have to stack so many of them on the bed because you have to stack them to get any kind of support. I was like, what if you simply bought nicer pillows? It's a real issue.
I have to think with the amount of use the pillows get that they just lose shape immediately. But it does feel like these pillows tend not to even have ever had shape.
Right. I do not think that the issue with the pillows is a matter of wear. I think it is a baseline lack of support. It is they came out that way from the pillow factory. As an aside, the amount of particulate in the air in a pillow factory has to be intense, right? Down, little wisps of cotton and whatever else the filler is, artificial. Down. Anyway, I like a nice hotel stay. And even sometimes at the nice hotels, they have the worst pillows. And then you get a weird crick in your neck. And that crick might be exacerbated by the fall you take in the shower.
Yeah.
Look, I understand that it's a bunch of rooms. It's a lot of rooms and a bunch of plumbing that you have to sort out. But they are out of control, the people designing hotel showers. And the hotel shower at the downtown Marriott in Philadelphia, it was fine. It wasn't the worst. It had the ability to fully enclose yourself. It did have one of those rain shower heads where you're just like, this is not enough water. You know, this isn't enough water for me. Although it was, I say a rain shower head. It wasn't the ones that are in the ceiling. Those are evil because it's like sometimes you just need a rinse, Craig. You don't need to wash your whole head. You don't need to wash your hair.
The rain ones specifically, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm getting enough force to wash, to wash the shampoo or conditioner out necessarily. Give me a little more pressure.
Often they are going to this formula for them where it doesn't close all the way. There's you get half a wall.
My family took a vacation in June, and we went to the showers in this situation. It's exactly what you described online. The door just ends so early.
Yes,
and in a place where you've positioned the shower head to spray water far beyond
the
door. And then I feel like I have to be like the floor guardian.
Right.
Like I have to position my body and angle it in a way such that the water spray goes back into the shower, because otherwise you're soaking the floor.
Yes.
And I understand. I think you can do the open, the thing where the door, there's no actual door and it's open, but you have to cover a significant portion of the length of the layout.
Yep.
So that the water pools back into, is angled and pools back into the drain. It's absolutely insane. I do have to tell you, I stayed somewhere last year. I don't even remember, but they had done something I liked, which was stunning in the hotel shower space. And it's that they had cut out part of it was another one of these situations where there wasn't actually a door, but they had covered a fair amount, and they had cut out a little opening by the handle to the shower.
Okay.
Because if you have enough glass or whatever it is to protect the floor and the entire situation from the water, then you have to if you're the person getting in the shower, you have to get in and turn on the shower. And it takes, even in hotels, which have very good heating, water heating situations, it takes a minute to heat up.
Right.
You're then stuck there, like either squeezing against the wall or trying, you know what I mean? Like trying to avoid getting cold. They had a cutout where you could turn it on from outside. You could just reach in and turn it on.
That's
and then
great.
Wait. Yes, I was enthralled.
Wow. Enthralled. That's quite clever. Because yes, that is part of the problem. It's like you're first of all, you're dealing with unfamiliar knobs. And so you don't know
which way
you don't know what's turning on what. You don't know how immediately hot the water's going to be. So you're in a freezing or scalding situation a lot of the time. You have to do all of that while trying to keep yourself dry before you get in, because you don't want to get water all over the floor. I'm like, it is shocking to me that hotel showers are not a prominent part of attorney advertising for local personal injury. Right? Like, how is the husband and wife law team not telling you, have you had a hotel shower slip and fall? Don't let Marriott get their way. That's not what she sounds like. the husband and wife law team are one of our local personal injury lawyer purveyors in the Valley, an official partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I love their commercials so fiercely. They are completely bonkers. But I'm just like, how are people not slipping and falling and hurting themselves constantly? And I think the answer is some number of them are. Yeah. And then there's never a little, and this is not going to be, and we will move on here shortly, I promise everyone, but this is not going to be universally applicable. But when one needs to shave one's legs, if one is a person who shaves their legs, you need a little ledge to put your foot up on so that you can do so without contorting yourself or having to rely on a single leg up on the wall situation, which never works. You always end up with either a catastrophe or just a strip of hair that you've missed, and then you just have like one random strip of hair that you couldn't get to because by the time you would have gotten to it, you've lost your balance and you need to move on. So anyway, it's just this is a simple thing. It should just be a shower. And I understand there are going to be some rooms where, they have a half wall situation because they need to make the shower accessible. Like there are good reasons to have non-standard shower designs, but that's not the reason for most of the non-standard designs. It's not that they are trying to make them easy for folks to get in and out of
it's in now. That's right. I mean, it's just like the thing that people are doing. And we can move on, but I would, if people have knowledge of this, I would love to know, like, what are hotels getting out of this?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Is it that you just save money on not having a door or something? Right. I think ultimately even the hotels where they just have a curtain,
right,
or whatever that gives you that have the little weights at the bottom so that they stay where they're supposed to when you pull the curtain, is a better situation than the half wall whatever, unless you do it right. If you do it right with the little handle cut out and enough actual space, terrific. But otherwise we're better off keeping it simple.
Okay, well, we will do a little baseball talk before our free preview concludes here. Craig, how much of the All-Star festivities did you watch?
We watched the Home Run Derby. My wife is a big Home Run Derby fan, and we got a few innings of the All-Star game. I can't bring myself to force someone else to watch the All-Star game. Like, you couldn't even come up with a reason, right? Like, a convincing, like, I don't have to do it for work. It's the All-Star. They're barely trying. I don't think I have to give it my full dedication. So we did see parts of it. I saw Miguel Vargas' home run. I enjoyed that, even though it was off Justin Wroblewski. It sounded like I did not miss much.
I think that we need to have a real kind of come to Jesus about what we want that event to be. And I will acknowledge that the stakes of that conversation within the broader landscape of the things we need to have sort of a reckoning around in baseball are pretty low. But I think that there are a couple of things wrong. First, I think that there is a growing gap between the in-person experience of these events and the television experience of these events. And that's a problem for the league because the vast majority of the people who are going to be engaging with the Derby, the All-Star Game, et cetera, are going to be doing so from home. So it's all well and good for me to say, and I would actually, that some of the things that I think probably maybe didn't play as well as folks would have wanted on TV seemed to go pretty well in ballpark.
I have enjoyed immensely every single All-Star game I've actually attended, or every All-Star festivity.
We just have goofy, simplistic brains. And so even if you are aware of like the limitations of the iconography you're being presented with, even if you have maybe a bit of cynicism in your heart, like, it is hard not to be moved by some of the, nostalgia and wistfulness that they put in front of you at these games. And I'm prone to cynicism, but like, I know that the decision to do the Sandlot tribute with the kids riding their bikes out on the field and what have you it got a mixed reception because it did introduce a long delay into the game. Their decision to pause it introduced something of a long delay. But I think that the reason that delay felt pronounced to people was just that there was so little offensive action in the game that they felt like they were missing out on a game. And I'm like, you were, but it was mostly because everyone was striking out. It's because the entire National League lineup was just so K-prone that entire evening.
Yeah.
But it looked really cool. I'm never gonna be mad to be hearing Ray Charles. Like I'm not.
I don't mind them trying something in an All-Star game. It's actually the right place to try it.
I agree.
But I also think some of the displeasure with stuff like that is because people aren't really thrilled to be there from home, to your point, in the first place. It's kind of like, why am I watching this? Well, it's baseball, but it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I enjoy watching players interact with children in a way that's sweet. Like, that is nice. It's also funny. You can tell often, like, who are the guys who have kids and who aren't the guys who have kids. Yeah. The guys who have kids are like, oh yeah, I've met a child before, after a point where I was one. I'm sure that he was instructed to play catch with the kid, but like, I wouldn't be shocked if Freddie Freeman just was like, why don't we play catch,
Yeah. Freddie has 4 kids, right? Like
Right. He has children. He knows what to do. And so, like there's something to that, I guess. But I think that there is a bit of a gap emerging. And some of it too is like there are planned pauses in the action in the All-Star game. And so when you start to load up on those, it can feel like too much disruption. When you do the America the Beautiful tribute, and then also you have the Stand Up to Cancer. It's just like we're doing a lot of...
It's the mid-game concert in the World Series thing, too.
That was, and remains the wildest thing I've ever seen.
and again, while I do appreciate that the All-Star game is the place to do that rather than the World Series, in my opinion, it is also like you're already stretching my patience in terms of being here. Like I'm here attending from home, to be clear, a nothing game.
Right.
And you're now like maximizing whatever it is that
the amount of time we spend doing the nothing game.
And like, truthfully, I think, like you said, that there is a difference between being there and watching from home. And part of that is because if I'm watching from home, I could be doing basically anything else. And if I'm there, I'm invested. Maybe I'm looking at my phone, but like I'm present in a way I'm not at home. Yeah. And when they have your attention, it's easier to buy in, right? It's easier to be sold on some of this stuff. I don't mean necessarily America the Beautiful or God Bless America or whatever, but like the rest of it, you are willing to forgive these other parts. Whereas at home, I think you're not willing to forgive. And I think all of that is reasonable for being there and for not being there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you really bridge that ultimately.
Yeah, I don't necessarily either. I also think that part of the problem that the All-Star game is having is that for all of its changes in formats, for all of the, nitpicking or quibbling that folks can do, I think a great many people are in your wife's camp where they really enjoy the Derby. Yeah. And so the Derby is, it's fun. It has this like accepted spirit of like experimentation in terms of format. When you have that and it's a thing that we understand to be not real baseball, and it's doing well, and I was like, well, what is this game by comparison necessarily? I don't know how you kind of fix that problem because you don't want to make the Derby worse so that the All-Star game seems better by comparison, but also, the Derby is better.
It's a tough spot. I think every sport is in a tough spot with the All-Star game. No one wants to get hurt. No, like it can't be, and really in baseball, like it can't be even remotely close to a real game, right? With like no one even goes, 2+ innings anymore.
Except for your boy Justin.
Yeah, well, you gotta when you have Justin Robleski on the All-Star team, you got to make the most of him,
right? Because you really only want Mason Miller to face the one guy. That's
what the fans wanted for sure.
That's what they want.
They're saying, give me more of this mustachioed, kind of greasy-ish guy, less Mason Miller.
Yes,
but like this is the thing, like as for what Mason Miller is, and also given his injury history, like the Padres are probably like, please use him as little as possible.
Right.
But he's the all-star. He's the attraction. And there's a tension in that. I think there's less injury concern with some other, with basketball or whatever. But even there, they're not playing hard, right? They're not playing hard defense necessarily. I think a lot of these sports don't know what to do with all-star games right now. A lot of the appeal at a certain point was that you never saw the other league, and now you do. And those guys wanted to perform for a huge audience, but they get they have access technically to a huge audience all the time now, right?
Yeah.
The ability is there for people from all over to tune into all games through MLB TV or various national TV games that just that inventory didn't exist all the time before. So I think these are just kind of relics in a way that aren't particularly solvable.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then you have the issue of the relievers are too good, man. I mean, not to pick on your boy, maybe not Justin
he
all the time. And, it's not like that was Christopher Sanchez's best night. But I do think you have this real potential issue where if a guy can just max out because he knows he's only going to have, not only is he only going to have, one inning, he might only have one hitter. Well, you're probably going to strike out a couple of times. So I don't know what you do about that. Maybe the All-Star game should be a proving ground for your guys' idea of like a velocity regulator where you just, hey, Mason, you're maxed at 100. That's it. You go above that, and it's a ball for the hitter.
But if that's the case, like, is that what fans want to see?
Right.
Too? Right. And I'm not trying to really quibble with your suggestion. It's just, that exposes the tension of it all. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Fans want to see them at their best, but also at their best isn't necessarily at the most interesting.
Right. Exactly.
Which is again, you hold that in direct comparison to the Derby. And even with the changes, I preferred the clock. I don't know kind of how you felt about it all.
Oh, you're a clock guy. Okay. I like the number of swings.
I didn't mind the number of swings as much as I thought. I really despised outs.
Yeah, I didn't like outs. I think number of swings, Ben and I talked about this on our last episode, you introduce time volatility to the exercise because you might just be down to your last swing and you're Contreras and you want to get ahead. And so you're just going to take a couple of pitches. Mm-hmm. But I think that being able to actually appreciate each individual home run is really nice because I want to see the majesty of it. And it was cool in this Derby because there was, there's sort of a contrast of styles across the field where you had guys who were trying to like do big home runs and then, Walker's just like line drive home run. Like I'm going to just like pepper that same spot and it's going to work well for me. So I like that format, but I'm also open to us like kind of bopping around formats just to mix it up,
Yeah, I did. To be clear, I liked it. I was skeptical of the change because it felt more like outs to me, and I really the outs was just interminable. But and because I don't love, and I didn't love this when they did this with the clock either. Like all the weird little add-ons, right? It's like swings until you get to your last swing, and then you can keep going as well. Like, okay, what is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's to get the exact result they got, by the way, which was thrilling. It was great.
Yeah.
I also would say, like, as a proponent of the clock, I want to be clear. I don't think they did the clock well. It was too much time. There were the breaks. There were the weird things where it's like if you hit a homer over 460 feet twice, you get an extra. It was way too complicated. But I thought if they had done a shorter clock and eliminated some of the stuff going on, like it could have been not even better than it was this time around. I thought this was great, but I thought there were improvements to be made with the clock. But I did really love the adjustment to the clock from outs, and I was very happy with that change overall. So I still it's the best event that they have going. Yeah. Because they actually care about it to some degree, unlike the Futures game.
Just make it 9 innings. It's okay.
It would be fine.
No one would be mad at you. No one would be mad at you.
Or apparently the draft. Do they just not care about the draft anymore?
Oh, Craig.
1 o'clock on a Saturday?
I know, buddy. I know.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? And you didn't even have to deal with like the kerfuffle of getting in there, which was
no. Well, also, but like I almost was taken aback that the draft was happening because it was 1 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was pretty goofy. I will say it was pretty goofy. All right. Well, I think that challenges abound as it pertains to the All-Star game. They got to think about what they want that to be. Next year, I imagine that some of this will sort itself out, if only because, there will be less, they won't be doing like America 250 stuff in conjunction with the event, which definitely was part of why, like, I doubt they do that, Ray Charles, Sandlot, fireworks spectacular if they're not in Philly for America 250. So, some of this might just take care of itself by virtue of the venue being different, assuming we have baseball next year,
I was going to say, who knows how much of a season we're dealing with.
Maybe they're like, we have to get rid of the All-Star game because we've had a protracted lockout. We should talk about the second half of this season and some of the things that we're looking forward to or not curious about. Before we do that, though, quickly, do you have any thoughts that you would like to share on the Rob Manfred and Bruce Myers of it all from this past week? Or should folks check in on Five and Dive to hear your thoughts on that?
No, I don't mind sharing. This is the game to some extent. Like, they're just going to do this. But obviously, I think the stuff Manfred says is just, it's so aggravating. He's so good at being aggravating. And I don't think it's unintentional, right? To be clear, I think Bruce Myers is very good at being aggravating to a different crowd, right? I like what he says, so it doesn't bother me as much. But I think that's part of his reputation, quite frankly, is that he gets under opposition's skin. So maybe credit to Rob on that front. But I'm looking at this. I was just going to refresh my mind on the quotes, and Rob Manfred this is in Evan Drellick's Athletic article on this, but He says, like, it always puzzled me why people think because one side to a negotiation says I'm opposed to this, that ought to take it off the table. And that, the beginning of salary cap opposition 40 to 50 years ago, you had owners who said, I'm never going to pay a player $1 million. But that's because they don't he goes, well, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in a changed world. So that's a very puzzling thing to me. Like, it's not puzzling, Rob.
Right.
Like, this isn't. I just hate the intentionally stupid things they say. Like, he's not, as frustrating as I find him, he's not a dumb man.
No.
And so you come out and say this stuff and it's so demeaning. It feels like they think so little of their audience. Yeah. So much of the time.
I think they do.
And and just, I don't know. He's tying like the resistance to change, like the pitch clock stuff. Look, I think it is one reason to not be unilaterally oppositional to things that the league wants. I think the pitch clock, I thought it was a good idea when it came out. Doesn't mean I don't have concerns about player health and things like that, but I think it's a thing to say like, oh, let's try it, but let's try and do it as safely as possible, something like that. Like, it's a reason not to be strictly oppositional. Because now he's trying to say, oh, the PA was opposed to the pitch clock, which has been universally well received, but also like the pitch clock and the mechanics of the way money works in the game are just so vastly different things.
Right.
It's a very frustrating. The lead up to these negotiations where they're not really negotiating anyway. is some of the most frustrating time for me, and I imagine for you, in terms of having to navigate all of this stuff.
Yeah. As I noted on our last episode, the negotiations don't really begin in earnest until the question of the cap is either abandoned or acquiesced to. All of the proposals that the league is making depend, at least in part, on the existence of a cap and floor system.
Do you make anything of Manfred saying the ownership group is more united than any group in his entire time in baseball? They're more united than 94? Right.
Yeah.
Really?
I find that a little hard to believe. I imagine that what he is trying to speak to, and I think that there is a great deal of solidarity that tends to emerge between billionaires, even ones with as disparate a payrolls as some of the guys in this set of owner groups. But I think there is a popular perception that a potential pain point for the league is the Dodgers and Mets sitting at one end of the continuum with completely different incentives and views of payroll than, Nutting has. And so I imagine he's trying to massage around some of that stuff. I don't know how accurate that is.
Well, you project strength, right? I mean, there's
no reason for him not to.
It just felt like a wild thing to say when we have like a missed World Series on the books because they tried to unilaterally insert a cap during negotiations. Like that felt, like they had to be really unified to do something like that. I don't know if this group is so bold.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I think that there are real divides within the different ownership groups. If you're the Dodgers, it's not even just a question of like, what is your view of how much latitude you should have to operate payroll the way you want. It's like, for some of these clubs, it's like, hey, business is going really well. We do better when there are butts in seats. That reality actually spans a number of different payroll levels. But on some level, there's great incentive for everyone to want to not miss games. But there are some teams where it's like, we're printing money. We're printing money by having games. So don't mess with my good time. I don't know how important that sentiment will end up being, at least on the part of some of the big payroll clubs. I think everyone has an appreciation of the importance of games as it pertains to being able to secure their next rights deal.
That is the crazy part to me, is to do this posturing ahead and promote such negativity. Because really people, my experience in talking to more casual but still baseball fans is like, it's just a negative vibe. Right. All of this arguing, people just hate it. And so you're doing that ahead of bundling all your rights to expire in 2028. You're going to risk the 2027 season or even part of it. It's absolutely insane to me.
I agree. Well, we should appreciate the baseball we have while we have it, and it recommences today. Oh.
That'll do it for the free preview of today's Effectively Wild. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to listen on and hear whatever wisdom and wit await, we would love to have you. You can visit patreon.com/effectivelywild to access the rest of this episode and plenty of other exclusive content. Weekly subscriber-only episodes, monthly bonus shows, our Discord group, our live streams. Either way, we will be back with another episode soon, which will appear in full on this feed. Until then, we wish you well and thank you for your support of Effectively Wild, whatever form it takes.